Okay, so we'll get cracking on the 28th. So day 28 of 90 today. So it starts kind of creeping up a little bit now. Pace starts to set in and to gather. I'll kick it off really. I had every intentions to do more than I did when I was away, but Wi-Fi stopped me in my tracks quite quickly. We found out that when we checked in that it was going to cost $10 a day or $50 a week to have Wi-Fi in the room, and it was not something that we was going to do because we wasn't going to spend a lot of time in the room. The only place that we got Wi-Fi was either in the lobby or in the bar area, and even then it was very intermittent. Like the training call that I'd done with Alicia, Raz had to take it over because I just kept freezing. So it was, on one hand, it was frustrating because I wanted to do more, but looking back on it now, it done me the world of good because I could get on and do a few bits and pieces at breakfast, and I could do a few bits and pieces at lunch, and then I had like an hour in the afternoon where like Mum, Dad and Tara went and had like tea and cake and biscuits and all the other bits and pieces where I could just check in then. Made sure that I'd done all my like Shaper stuff, and I mean the good thing about Shaper when you go on holiday is that you just get connections from all over the world. So it's really weird. For the first few days, it was a lot of French. Like, a hell of a lot of French people kept coming up, but then after that it was Canadians and Americans and Uruguayans and Colombians. So I've got a lot of conversations going on now with Americans and Canadians, which is great. Emails I didn't really do too much of, and as I said, like posting on Facebook, it was literally a case of going in, posting and coming out, and sometimes it would take up to an hour just to post something on social media. So as I said, on one hand it was a little bit frustrating, but looking back on it now, it's done me the world of good because even though like I am like tired and ready for bed because like, I literally did not sleep at all last night, it's the first time in as long as I can remember that I haven't actually done any work while I've been on holiday, and it was great for me. But I have come back, and I'm ready to go again. I've got straight back into like the gym and straight back into like eating better, and I'm focused on what I need to do now. And I think one of the biggest things, like one of the biggest tips that I've heard in a long time, and John Gilbert said it last week really, and he said it to me before we actually started the training call, was that like take care of yourself first. And we always hear about there's no I in team, and I totally get that, and that will always be my thing. There is no I in team, but sometimes like all of us have got to be a little bit more selfish and a little bit more ruthless and a little bit more gutless in what we're doing, and to take care of our own business, then go and help other people. Because if all I done, for example, was like work with you guys, and that is all I done, and got on freeway call, I'm not saying that I'm never going to stop, because if you filled my day up with freeway calls, I'll do it anyway because I love doing three-way calls and whatever else. But what I'm trying to say is if all I done was stuff to help you guys go master seller, and I didn't do anything like from my end of it, then come 90 days, like you guys could all be master sellers and I could have no one, because those 9 people could just drop off. So like we've all just got to continuously keep plugging away and doing what we need to do, and just working in the little pockets of time that we've got. And we've said that on previous calls before, like self and China have had conversations about how you can utilize or maximize the time that you've got available to you. But one thing that I will say after coming back from holiday is that like when you go away, and I know like Andrew and Shirley, you've got a holiday coming up soon, go away and switch off. It is the best thing that I've done. I completely de-stressed. Like I wasn't worried about like what the business was doing. I wasn't worried about like if anyone was getting on calls, and I wasn't worried about like not answering people straight away or getting back to people straight away. Like, we all work so hard to enjoy like time out and enjoy time away. So, I don't care what goes on in other teams or what goes on in other countries or what other people say, in the fact that, I'm just going to open the window. I mean, I've I've been on leadership calls before in other companies, and they've told you to, you know, you're not allowed to, like, the telly's out of bounds for the next 90 days, and you're not allowed to, you know, it's 100 mile an hour for 90-day run. It's not sustainable, you know, and it's not enjoyable either. And like, one thing that I have mentioned to you guys before, one thing that I'm really, really keen on trying to make happen, and you know, it's going to take a little bit of time, but I do think it can work, is that we work a Monday to Friday week, or a Monday to Saturday week, and we just shut down on Sundays. You know, if Sundays is a good day for you to work and to catch up, then I'm not saying like don't do it, but in terms of like calls, like, I want to take like Sundays out as well. I don't want to be working, you know, 16, 17-hour days, 7 days a week, because again, it's just, you know, it's just complete burnout. So it is all about like maximising the time that you've got. And I mean, if I look back on it, I did get a lot done, because like the amount of conversations that I've got started with people now since being away is fantastic. And, you know, potentially like between 5 and 10 new conversations over a 10-day period from people that are not based in the UK. I don't know what that can lead to. Like, you know, never say never kind of thing. So that is what I've been up to. But as I said on like the call previously, like we are working hard to get these answers. So I mean, as I said, tonight there's only like a small amount of us on here. So anything that's worked for you, anything that, you know, you've had success with, anything that you've got planned in the next like week or so, and then also any concerns, I guess, or anything that you're not happy with or not comfortable with, because like, I can also feed that back to Suzanne and Trillock and Kevin. So who wants to kick it off?
I'll go first, Paul.
Okay, go for it.
In answer to your question, a couple of people have mentioned about Virgin Wines to me, but again, I've just said Virgin Wines ship them for us and not produce the wines. They seem to have accepted that, but maybe they don't know too much about the wine situation. Maybe they should, maybe they don't, but I've got past it that way. Right. I had a wine tasting on Friday.
Okay.
Only 5 people there, but I think I'm going to get a PWL out of it.
Brilliant.
Had a conference on Thursday, which was like a women working together conference in a small place in North Wales. 35 people went, had about 8 or 10 serious conversations and 3 or 4 decent leads out of it, which is good. Next wine tasting is planned for the 8th of June, and I've just emailed my school where I'm a governor, where there's a small private school with about 8 or 10 staff, to say, come on Emma, I offered you a wine tasting, when do you want to take me up on it? Apart from that, I've just been working for the last 3 weeks on my new job, so I've gone a little bit by the wayside with Shaper and with LinkedIn, but I'm just talking to everybody that I can. The only other thing I might need help with, if it comes off in the future, may not be till July. I'm doing some coaching and mentoring for a financial advisor as part of my work I do with the Chamber of Commerce. And he's looking to have a launch of his financial advising business with the local community sometime. And he thinks he might have 50 people there. He's offered me the chance to do a wine tasting. I said, yes, £10 a head.
Yeah, okay. I mean, if that does go ahead and you've got details for it, whack that up in the main group and just, you know, any volunteers. I'm fairly certain that you'll get like a handful of people that will be up for, you know, pouring the wine or speaking or, you know, helping out. So good. And if that does come off, then let me know and I'll get the wine sent out from the company, because anything like that size the company can sort out.
Okay, thanks. Apart from that, not much going on.
No, it's good. There's a lot going on there. It's great stuff. Shirley, I'll see your hand kind of do that.
Well, we've just stopped the car so as I can speak. Right, so Andrew's doing really well. I'll let Andrew speak about Shaper.
Oh, that's very kind of you. I've got about 8 people on the go on Shaper at the moment.
Okay.
And
got information out to me.
Got information out to them, and I've got 3 people that I'm talking to in my day job about the wine club. So yeah, I'm having some good conversations, and feel to be getting better at it. So, it's all happening. It's a steady learning curve. I mean, I'm looking at this as being a 3-year project. It's, like you were saying earlier, it's the 6 figures in 12 months is just a nonsense.
No.
I mean, unless you're selling weed.
Get it in 6 weeks then, can you?
But yeah, I feel that we're sort of getting there. Shelley's got another thing booked.
Yeah, I'm doing a small, just 4 people tomorrow evening,
Okay.
which is absolutely fine. I actually think, you get more people to chat to anyway. You've got longer conversations. Andrew's got something next Sunday as well, the 3rd, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the event in July has been confirmed. We did mention about that the other week. That's in some offices in Leeds, so that could be, really good event. But that's not till July, and that's it really. I mean, we took a weekend off last weekend as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Just for that very reason that you can feel yourself getting jaded.
Yeah, you need it.
But yeah, still really positive.
Yeah,
feeling good about it all. I don't like to hear any of the negative stuff. It's just like, just shut up. I don't want to hear any negative stuff.
You can tell how chilled out I am, because I've forgotten to say that I've got a wine tasting for 6 people in Liverpool next Sunday.
Oh, great stuff.
That's come through Shaper.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with every single point that you've just made there with regards to it's a minimum, I would say, a minimum of a 3-year plan to get you on a stepping stone, and whether that stepping stone is to get you full-time to part-time or onto this full-time. 85% of people that, as we know, get involved with network marketing to make that extra £500 a month, and to go above and beyond that is it does take hard work. And I love Austin to bits, and I love Nina to bits, and I love all the 6-figure income earners to bits, but they've all done it before.
Yeah.
And for them, it's just a case of, right, this is the company we're going to now. Okay, we're going to take you lot and we're going to go here. Yeah. What I love about this is that there's so many people that have never done network marketing before, and every single person that's come in has built it from scratch. No one's bought all their team over. Like you guys have said that you haven't touched your Herbalife people. I haven't bought in any people that I had in Vi. So it doesn't faze me at all. I'm just as excited now as I was right back on day one, and the same as when the wine started shipping, and the same as every other day, because I always look at it as like a little. It's still like a little tiny seed that just needs flourishing. And if we look forward in 3 years' time and we're on a call like this again, where are we going to be? How much better off are we going to be? How much different is our organisations going to be? How much different are our lives going to be? But it is taking the rough with the smooth, and it is going over bumps and obstacles and challenges and whatever else. And I had a conversation with Stora this morning from Australia, and she had one of her pre-enrolled drop off, and she was heartbroken. It's just wow, that happens. We got people dropping off on a weekly basis at the moment, but we can't force that. So yeah, no, I agree with every single point that you guys have just said there. So, and again, with regards to the numbers that you've got for your parties, they're perfect numbers. That's what Kevin wants. Kevin's I don't know if philosophies. Excuse me, I don't know if philosophy is the right word, but Kevin wants direct sellers to be a load of wine socials in the front rooms. He doesn't get excited about seeing 60, 70, 80 people in a mansion in America. Like, he doesn't get excited about that at all. What he wants to do is to get as many people into a front room, whether it's like a block of houses or a street of houses, or just scattered around over the UK and Australia and, you know, whatever else, and just having fun.
This is what I was saying, Paul, about that's the quantity of people we should be doing. Unfortunately, we're sending out the film that Austin's done, where it is a house, you know, it's a big group of people. There's probably 30 people there.
Yeah.
And you can feel that that's frightening people off.
Yeah.
So what can we send out that just puts across that just half a dozen people in a room?
That's what we need. We need a video.
Yeah.
We need a UK-based video of an in-house wine tasting that lasts 5 minutes max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that just goes through tasting notes, that mentions about the wines, that it just shows simplicity. Because,
absolutely,
you know, like you said, if the video that we're sending out is of Austin's house, for example, where he paid, like, what was it, 1.2 million cash, and he's got 300 people in his house, and the whole of his upstairs has been transformed in for people to come in and do retreats. You know, people don't want to do that.
No.
But if we can get massively, it puts me off. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I'd quite happily open like our front door every night and invite 3 or 4 people in. Come and try a glass of wine. Come and try a glass of wine. Yeah. You know, like the social that we've done at yours and social that we've done at Michael's. You know, great numbers for them. But as I said, like 3 and 4s is a perfect number, because you can have like a good conversation with everyone, and you know, they're going to be more inclined to know more about it as well. Because if you've got 3 or 4 people, they're going to feel special because they're the chosen 3 or 4.
Yeah.
You know, these big events are great, but I would say that we only need to do big events I don't know, maybe not even every quarter, like twice a year.
Twice a year.
And even they should just be like training events. They don't need to be big wine socials. So, you know, we need to curb out like paying loads of money for venues, and we need to curb out paying loads of money for food and for nibbles and whatever else, and just inviting people over for like a glass of wine. You know, stick the radio on, stick the telly on, or whatever, but just talk about like the club. And I think that's what we really need to like start hammering home, is the fact that we don't need to, because at the end of the day, like, no one is going to want to get home from work and then go in the shower and then get changed and then go out again to a wine social to then get back late to then have to get up to work in the next morning.
No.
You know, if they drive, they can't drink, and if they want to drink, it's going to cost them extra money to get there in a taxi and back. So, you know, this is where it's easier, where you can get like colleagues on a Friday night where they can share a taxi, or get neighbours round, or get family over on a Sunday afternoon, or whatever else. Because like, we don't need to give them like half a gallon of wine. It's just, you know, taste the wine. Oh, bloody hell, that's great, that is. Well, you know, let me go through like some of the benefits that we've got in like the trifolder. Oh, that looks really good. Oh, is that the benefits? Oh yeah, how do I sign up? You know, rather than doing these like fancy socials, but you know, I love doing them. Like, you know, and I'd get out and I'd do anything for anyone, and I do love doing them. But some people, I think that they just turn up for the wine, you know, and we know that they're just turning up for the wine.
There's got to be a system there where people can see, you know, even if it's just somebody who works in an office and doesn't really get out and meet a lot of people, they can see that it's a business that they could run themselves.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Where there's not a lot of selling involved. You're not standing up in front of a lot of people. It's just a social thing. Just a few people in your house, or you doing a few, you know, seeing a few people in somebody else's house.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's got to be so simple and basic.
Yeah. I mean, even if that means that we create our own, you know, we, you know, not pull away from the system or pull away from the company, but we do what we want to do rather than following like a 10-step system or whatever that, you know, I don't know. For me, it is the most simplistic business model that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like, it is so simple.
We've got to tailor it for the British people.
Yeah.
Sending out the people who I've sent the Austin's thing to, they back off. You can feel the fear. You know, I couldn't do that. You know, it's sort of, so it's
it's what puts a lot of people off in any network marketing company. It's that whole American razzmatazz.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, you know, going away from what we're talking about now, we'll come back to it in a minute, but, you know, if you go right across the board with like many different companies, all of the training videos are American. And I think that if more companies invested into UK speakers and UK production, then the UK as a whole would be more successful in network marketing, like massively.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because, you know, I remember when we done VIA, like our challenge party, it was so hyped up, like it was so Americanized. And, you know, I invited some of my mates around for like one of the first ones, and they was all looking at each other and just laughing because it was the whole, you know, it was the American thing. So I definitely think that we need a library of UK videos, and I'm gonna reach out to Ross, because Ross has got his own production team now, and they're all UK. Like, they all live in Vegas, but they're all UK speakers. So I'm just going to say to him that this is what we need, because I think if we can have a 3 to 5 minute video of a group of people sitting in a front room or sitting around a table, just sharing the wines, you know, we don't even need to hear him speak on this video. Have music over the top of it, but opening the box, getting the cards out, having the wine on the table to go with the cards, a close-up of what is on the card, maybe like prepare one of the meals to go with one of the bottles of wine, so you can prepare the wine to go with the meal, you know, talk about it, and then just literally pour the wine, and that's it. And then show like the trifolds or show the postcard, and that's it. Because people are going to come back to us and say, that looks good fun, that looks simple, is that it?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
exactly.
Yes, it is. That is it. Yes, Sean.
I may have some footage from one of the wine tastings I did. One of the girls there was a student, and said she was going to come and take some photographs for me, but I know that she actually took some video footage, and it was in a restaurant, but it looks like it's a front room. So I need to follow her up anyway, so I'll see kind of what she's got. It won't be the finished article, but it might be useful for putting together a collage of film footage. So I'll follow up on that.
Definitely.
Very good.
Yeah,
Great.
no, definitely. As I said, we need something, because, like, you know, why should we always use what they're using? Why, you know, what, you know, we're a different country. Like, I love the Americans to pieces, but, you know, why should we always use their stuff? Like, why can't we have our own library of stuff? So, yeah, no, great points. Right, Sean, we'll come straight over to you next then.
Ooh. Okay, cool. So yeah, I've had a couple of wine tastings that have gone really well. It's definitely increased my confidence, and they've been small events. And last week, I think I posted up in the group that only 2 people showed up, which I was gutted about to start with, because everyone had said they were coming, and I was really pumped up for it. But actually, it's one of the best ones I've done, because it was so relaxed.
Yeah.
And I've got follow-ups to do, one tonight and a couple during the week from that. So that's exciting. I've been building on Instagram, building my following and engaging with lots of people. So that's going well. I'm trying to build it more. I'm sort of, my friends and family are still a challenge for me, but hopefully I can build some relationships elsewhere at the same time. So that'd be good. One thing that I've noticed that I haven't been doing actually is personal development. I've been falling back on that. So I need to try and build that into my routine a bit more.
Yeah. Get this book. I posted it in the group. Tara bought this at Gatwick, and like, from the title, it kind of you kind of look at it and you probably think, Jesus Christ, what's this got to do with anything? But that, like, she read so much of it out, and so much of this book is relevant to network marketing. Honestly, like I don't need to read it really because she's read most of it out to me. But I'm going to read this like in June. Like the book that I read in May. I've read that one like while I was away. Has anyone read that one? Yeah, great book. And there's a few bits and pieces that like I've like folded pages over with, so I'll put like that information into the group. But yeah, this does seem like a brilliant. Zoe, you've read that one twice. Yeah, brilliant book. Like as I said, there's so much of it in there that is relevant to network marketing. Yeah, sorry, Sean.
That's cool. No, that's great. I've made a note of that. So yeah, I've got some more wine tastings booked in, one at a friend's house and one again at the same restaurant again. So it's small groups. It's easier to do than in my front room at the moment. So, and I need to book some more in of them. I've got a few follow-ups from Shaper. It's just being patient, I guess. I keep thinking I want quick results, but it's actually building that relationship up with people and keeping the conversation and remembering to follow them up. And then 2 other things that I want to work on. I still get myself confused on the compensation plan because I haven't talked about it for ages because I've been focusing on customers.
Yeah.
I'd be grateful if anyone else wants to maybe do a Zoom and we can just have a quick run through if anyone's an expert on it, wants to run through that. And then New Orleans is on my mind, so I'm going to set myself a target for New Orleans. They should
have a venue. I think it's out of 2 venues at the moment. They should have a venue this week.
Okay.
With regards to that, and I think that once they've got the venue, then there'll be early bird tickets in the hotels. So, anyone that's going will group that together. So just kind of reversing like the points that you've just mentioned there, with regards to patience, that is the big word. And going back to what Andrew said earlier, it's a 3-year plan. So stick to that. That is your short-term goal, like 3 years, but it's a long-term goal. So always have like shorter goals with regards to where you want to be in a month, where you want to be in a year, where you want to be in 9 months, 6 months, 3 months, 2 months, 1 month, 4 weeks, 2 weeks, But 3 years is that stepping stone. 3 years is that once you have that like 3rd year anniversary of indirect sellers, that's where you want to be able to look back and be like, I've done it. I've set out what I wanted to achieve. With regards to like, again, smaller numbers, it's the way forward, and I'll probably reiterate that myself so many times and everyone will probably keep saying the same thing. It is the way forward. You look at when you go out to a restaurant, like for example, you're never going to go out to a restaurant with 60 people. Like if you're going to go out to a restaurant for dinner, you're going to be in like 4s and 6s. And, you sit around a table with a glass of wine. And if you go out to a bar, like you're going to be with like a handful of people drinking a glass of wine. So that's probably the easiest way to compare it to, is that if you go out for dinner with 4 to 6 people, you're going to have a lot more of a conversation than if you went out for dinner with a group of like 25. And again, the same if you go out for drinks with the girls in the evening, for example, you're going to speak to more people about more stuff if there's a group of 4 of you, rather than if there's a group of 25 of you, because, you could go back into work on Monday morning and you could, sorry, I didn't get to speak to you. But by working in those smaller groups, it gives you more time to get to know them as a person, to find out what they like, and again, like if you're doing in-house wine tastings at your house, you don't have to stop at 2 reds, 2 whites. If they say, have you got a Merlot? Well, actually, yeah, I have. Like, we'll open that one. You're not giving them like half a bottle. So it's entirely up to you, like how many bottles of wine you open or use or whatever else. But you're only giving them like that little teaser, that little mouthful that, that's quite nice. Well, that, funnily enough, that is actually in this month's wine. Oh, great. Well, what else have you got in this month's wine? Well, let me go and get the other one. Well then, right, brilliant. So you've just told me now that, you like both the reds that I got from this month's wine. Let's sign you up. Let's get you like 3 bottles, or let's get you 6 bottles sent out in the next 48 hours. And let's duplicate what I've done tonight, and we'll book an in-house wine tasting social at your house, and I'll come and support you and do it. And you invite like a handful of people, and we'll have a bit of fun. We'll play some games, and we'll get people to try the wines, and I'll bring some of the other wines that we've tried tonight. And then you go there and you might find someone that's more white wine based.
Mhm.
Well, funnily enough, like one of the wines that you've just tried is one of the wines that we've just got through like this month's, you know. So it's that kind of like the it's that conveyor belt. It's just, you know, constantly extending the line. But like I said, like now I'm back, like I am like back and focused. So as I said, like it was, you know, it was impossible for me to do anything out there. I couldn't watch any lives. I couldn't get, but I needed it. I needed to switch off and I needed time out. But, you know, now I'm back. If anyone does want me to do like 3-way calls or anything else, or, you know, catch up, like, I'll be happy to go through the compensation plan with you, like Sean on Zoom. Just let me know when suits you. Right, 2 to go. Zoe, do you want to go?
Hey.
Yo.
Okie dokie. Well, the last couple of weeks have been sort of, I don't know, a bit sort of hit and miss. Mainly because I'm not making excuses, but I've had so much going on sort of behind the scenes that I've had to sort of take time out for me and the kids. And it's no excuse, but they're my priority. I was gonna sort of not do the event on Thursday, mainly because I didn't think I could do it, but I've been out this evening and I've been out this afternoon and people are like way behind me and they're like, look, just do it, we'll get people there.
Okay, cool.
So I'm going to do it, and Helen's prepared. I mean, I had a great evening with Helen on Thursday. I probably shouldn't have been there due to sort of having an operation during the day, but I made a point of getting there. I wasn't allowed to drive, but I got there. So she's prepared to get there for me. So whether there's 4 people there, whether there's 40 people there, I will do it. And I need to do it for me, and I'm going to do it. So Shaper has been hit and miss. There's a lot of idiots on there, and I've just gone sort of cold-hearted with a lot of them. I've just block. You've just got to get rid of them. There's a lot of time wasters on there, and Shaper's actually pretty good. You can report them. So if they're hard sell, then get rid of them. There's no point. Then they're not there for you. They're there for themselves, and yeah, we are as well. But we've just got to sort of get rid of the ones that aren't there to sort of, they're there for themselves, so you've just got to get rid of them. So yeah, so that's pretty much it really.
Can you block people on there then?
Yeah, you can block people. You can, if you go on them, you can, it says sort of unmatch them. If you unmatch them, you then have to give a reason why. So if they're hard selling, so I've had a lot from states that are hard selling. There's a lot of you know, the ones that there's a lot of cryptocurrencies and a lot of sort of utility ones. You can just unmatch them and block them and report them for hard sell. So then if you report them, then you will never get them again, because I've had 4 or 5 people come back time and time again.
Yeah, I know you can unmatch people. I didn't know you could like block them or report them. So
no, you can you can unblock them, but give them a reason as to why you've unblocked them.
All right, okay, cool.
Because otherwise you're wasting your own time. So just get rid of them.
Yeah. To be honest,
I'm a pro on this. I'm a pro on this Tinder.
Yeah. That don't surprise me. Yeah, so I'm surprised that there's not a block option on there, to be honest, and just getting it out of the way. But,
yeah, no, I've got rid of so many. Got rid of the lot of them.
Yeah, all right, perfect. Well, I'm pleased like Thursday's going ahead anyway. So, yeah, again, you know, duplicating what Andrew and Shirley have said and what Michael said and Shana said, like, smaller numbers is the way to go. Like, definitely is the way to go. And, you know, if you do only get 4, like, have fun with the 4. Have you know, an interactive night with the 4 of them, with Helen being there as well. Like, you know, we say, oh, people buy into people, and if people look at the fun that you're having in the business that you're involved with, they're going to be more inclined to get involved with that, rather than, you know, someone standing at the front of a room doing a presentation and a flip chart and, you know, So perfect. Right, Ben, you're up, my friend.
Hello.
Hello.
Had a bit of a slow weekend. Just been at a music festival with my girlfriend, and then my mate got engaged, so I went to a barbecue. Did have a conversation with someone whilst I was there about the club and everything, involving a customer and that, so I'll catch up with him. I think Wednesday I'm catching up with him on that. Just been going through like Shaper. It's the last call, I've had about 4 Zoom calls with people. I think I've got another one tomorrow, and I'm in talks with a community centre just at the top of my street, or Aldin, trying to get some like consistency in wine tasting, so maybe 1 a month there every time. So I was just talking with them about that. And I know the other week you posted about, you know, like how you've approached people on like Shaper and LinkedIn and stuff like that. So I've done my own little like icebreaker, and I've been using that, and that seems to have gone quite well with introducing myself to people and getting conversations started.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, you'll probably find the same, like if everyone's using it, the amount of people that kind of like, what brings you to this app? And I think it's such a shit opening line. You know, if I speak to someone on a Monday, I'll always try and get in, like, hope you had a good weekend. If I speak to someone on a Friday, I'll always like, ask them how their week's gone. But you do get some funny ones in there that literally just go straight in with the kill and write you a massive essay and like 15 videos to watch and all the other bits and pieces.
Yeah. That's what I'm based on, kind of thing, like how I'd want to be spoken to. So
yeah, exactly.
I won't want to go in straight away and be like, oh, look, I've got this, I think you should look at it. It's more like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, and all that. Just sort of break the ice a little bit and start that bit of a rapport going before.
Yeah. Well, there's no relationship building then, is there? You know, if you're just going to go straight in and pitch in your business, like you don't, I'm going to close the window now because all the like, papers flying everywhere. But yeah, you don't know them from Adam, really. I mean, I've been pitched on LinkedIn 3 or 4 times from someone that's in direct sellers. It's just like, oh my God, like go and look at my profile. It tells you that I'm involved with direct sellers. Oh, so overall, like we got some good stuff going on, which is good, you know. And again, like, you know, small number tonight, but good. A lot of people like going on with a lot of stuff. There's I know I said that I'll put some of this in the group, but there was a poem that was in this book, and like when I was reading it, I've like folded over some paper. So I'll read the poem out, and then what I'll do is I'll put it in the group tomorrow. But again, it's quite, you know, it's quite good. It says, if you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win, but you think you can't, it is almost certain you won't. If you think you'll lose, you're lost. For out of the world we find, success begins with a person's will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you are outclassed, you are. You've got to think high to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man, but sooner or late, the one who wins is the one who thinks he can. I think that's brilliant. You know, I was reading that. I read this book in 7 or 8 days, and like, I don't read. Like, before I started reading books in personal development, the only thing I read was the Sun newspaper, and that was only for the football. But again, you know, a line that we use a lot in the fitness industry, like a quitter never wins and a winner never quits, you know, in the book. So there's a lot of like stuff in here that I was reading. I thought it's so like apt with what we're doing. There's a self-analysis questionnaire from Personal Inventory, like, so take an inventory of yourself, like 28 questions you should answer. You know, some of them: have I delivered service in the greatest possible quantity of which I was capable? Have I permitted the habit of procrastination to decrease my efficiency? And if so, to what extent? Have I reached decisions promptly and definitely on all occasions? You know, there's loads of stuff in there. And then what was the other thing that I folded over? The 6 basic fears as well. There are 6 basic fears. Every human suffers from some combination of them at one time or another. Most people are fortunate if they do not suffer from the entire 6. Named in the order of their most common appearance, they are the fear of poverty, the fear of criticism, the fear of ill health, the fear of loss or love of someone, the fear of old age, the fear of death. And again, like, you can relate all of those back to network marketing in some way, because it's all about, you know, getting the job done. And, you know, if you're stressed in your current workplace, then it can lead to ill health and, you know, God forbid, like, worse stuff. So there's a lot of stuff in there, and I'm probably going to go through it again, because I want to try and create some, like, templates or some documents within the group that we can start using as well. And it all helps with our own self-development. But yeah, I mean, again, just going back to what we said on the call at 8:30 with regarding this week's call with Kevin on Wednesday. As soon as I get the details, like, I'll let you guys know. But what I don't want it to be, and I know, like, none of you guys or none of the others that were on the other call, I don't want it to just be people bashing. You know, I understand people have got frustrations and we need answers, but you know, there's a certain way that we've got to go about it. So I'm going to go back to Trillock, and I'm going to go back to Ross and see what we can do with this UK-based video of a wine tasting. Sean, if you can touch base with your prospect, again, like, big rule, like this week, just go, everyone that you speak to, follow up 2 or 3 days, go back to them. And every time I follow up with someone, I never go in and ask them, like, have they looked at it? I always say to them, what did you like best about it? Because, you know, if you go in with the have you looked at it, even if they have and they didn't like it, they're going to say no. But you go back to them, like, you know, what did you like about it? Then if they haven't looked at it, then they'll say, you know, I'm really sorry. But it gives them more of it's that whole mental thing. It gives them, well, what did I like about it? Well, maybe I should look at it then if they think I'm going to enjoy it. So that'll do us for tonight. As I said, I am absolutely wrecked tonight. I need some sleep. But anything that anyone needs, talk to me, shout, do whatever you need to do. So, Sean, let me know when you want to touch base with the whole going through the comp plan.
Thank you.
Andrew and Shirley, have a safe journey back. Michael, have a good day tomorrow. Zoe, I'll touch base with you in the week. Ben, anything that you need, buddy, let me know. And I'll get the recording up. It'll probably be tomorrow. Now, it'll be quicker than I got the team calling up. I totally forgot about it. I got back Saturday. I thought, oh, no, I haven't actually got the recording up from John. Yeah, we really need to get numbers on Thursday's call, because I really want to give, like, Joe a good audience to talk to, because, you know, he's gone through a tough time, but he still wants to be there for us. So we want to try and get good numbers on for that. But have a good week. As I said, anything that you need from me, let me know, and I'll catch up with you guys in the week.
Thank you.
Have a fantastic
Take care.
week.
See you guys. Thank you.